We're trying something new here on Real World Test Drive. In addition to our regular car reviews, we're also doing news updates. Let us know what you think in the comments below. In today's episode, Ford is giving away face masks.
Youth mask, adult mask. Happy New Year, stay safe, mask up.
Thank you.
As the nation goes through a political crisis, it's important to recognize that the pandemic is still raging, and car companies, including the Ford Motor Company, are stepping up to help slow the spread.
We have made and distributed approximately 55 million face masks, and these are disposable face masks. Our goal is to distribute another 50 million. So we have a ways to go. We should be able to complete that by the middle of 2021.
Giselle Cabrera is a community relations manager for the Ford Motor Company Fund, not to be confused with the Ford Foundation, which is a completely different entity. What are you doing with the mask giveaways? What is Ford doing?
So earlier, actually last year in August, Ford announced that we will be donating 100 million face masks to at-risk communities across the country. And this is in partnership with the Ford Motor Company Fund, which is our philanthropic arm, as well as what we call the Project Apollo team at Ford. It's really that group of folks in conjunction with the UAW that are working to manufacture these face masks. And so we so far have donated 55 million. We still have about another 50 million to go. And today in Washington, D.C. and in other areas of the Mid-Atlantic, we are holding these Ford face mask distribution days, handing them out to the general public, specifically in communities that are at higher risk and really have that great need.
The initiative is called Project Apollo. I remember Apollo, but why is it called the Apollo program? Or is it Ford Apollo? What is it?
It's a Project Apollo, and it's definitely a nod to the Apollo program and the mission to the moon that NASA had 50 years ago, or a little more than 50 years now. And so it's a nod to that. And again, it's Ford's initiative to once again do our part to help our country in a time of need.
Manufacturing personal protective equipment during this pandemic is something both management and the United Auto Workers could get behind. Has the union been cooperative?
Absolutely. The UAW, the United Auto Workers Union, has been a part of our efforts from day one. And we've had so many wonderful volunteers come forward, even during shutdowns, to stay at the plants, to manufacture ventilators and to manufacture the face masks. And we couldn't have done it without the UAW. So amazing work by that group as well.
Giselle, why is Ford doing this?
So really, it's our way to do our part in helping our country during a time of need, like we've done so many times in the history of our company, dating all the way back to the Arsenal of Democracy during World War II.
The arsenal of democracy is from a very different time in America when the entire nation got behind the war effort, turning out the weapons of war needed to defeat Nazi Germany and the other Axis powers.
And so another link is forged in the chain of industry's many contributions to the national defense. These new cars are designed to carry out a number of duties in Uncle Sam's modern mechanized army.
When we used our manufacturing might to help this country overcome that terrible time in our history. And so once again, when faced with this incredible pandemic, we're just trying to do our part to help this country overcome COVID-19 by manufacturing respirators, gowns, face masks, all sorts of PPE to especially help at-risk communities during this very difficult time.
But what about the people who are receiving the face masks? What are they saying to the folks at Ford?
So, we're donating face masks across all 50 states in the US. We've been doing this since August, and we've heard from so many people that are just so grateful to be receiving these donated masks. It's heartbreaking when you hear that a single parent just needs two masks, one for their child and one for them. We're making, by the way, face masks, adult size and child size face masks. And we're just happy to be able to support these folks that have no other way of obtaining masks for their families.
In a time of national division, it's important to remember that when the nation works as one, all battles can be won, whether they are fought against visible enemies with tanks on the ground and planes in the air, or an invisible one carried by an airborne virus.
If you're enjoying these updates, and we really hope you are, make sure to subscribe to Real World Test Drive on YouTube and follow me on Twitter @GrantWinter. Along the New Jersey Turnpike, I'm Grant Winter reporting for Real World Test Drive.